Hey, Shalom. Today is the day before that wicked holiday. One of the wicked holidays the Most High hate. Called it Thanksgiving. Which, you Israelites like to celebrate this Edomite custom. It's a custom that when the settlers came over here, half dead, Gad helped them to get themselves back together and show them how to survive the winters and plant food and crops. Show them everything. And what things did they get? When they got their numbers built up, they slaughtered Gad. And this is the wicked holiday that celebrates it, the commemoration of the slaughter of Gad. But a lot of Jakes don't know it. All they think about is eating, glutton. They don't think about the history behind it. That's our people, just dumb as they want to be. Destroyed for lack of knowledge. Before I continue on, I'm going to give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakak Radash, and double honors to the apostles and the elders, the great millstone, teachers just truth, and Shalom to the hopeful elect. Shalom. Let's go into the dietary law that proves it. Tomorrow, when Pastor Pork Chop and them getting together, having, church services, a lot of them will tomorrow, and eating that swine and eating them chitlins and them pork chops and that pork soap, greens, collard greens, let's see what the Most High say about that. This is Leviticus 11, chapter 11, verse 2. The Most High says, speaking to the children of Israel, saying, these are the beasts which ye shall eat among all the beasts that are on the earth. Whatsoever parteth the hoof and is cloven-footed, and cheweth the cud among the beasts that ye shall eat. And that word cloven-footed means cleft or split toe, That's what it means. And cheweth the cud, it means eat the food, chew it, swallow it, and go down in one stomach. It does what it got to do, soften up, whatever. And they regurgitate back up and they chew it again and they go down to the other stomach. That's what cheweth the cud means. Verse 4, nevertheless, these shall ye not eat of them that chew the cud. Those are all the animals that chew the cud, or of them that violate the cloven hood. There's other animals that are cloven-footed. As the camel, because he cheweth the cud, but divided not the hoof. He is unclean to you. So we can't eat a camel. And the coney, which I looked that up, and it said it was a badger, but, who knows? Because that's what the, dictionary say. And the coney, because he chewed the cud, but divided not the hoof. He is unclean to you. And the hare, because he chewed the cud, but divided not the hoof, he is unclean to you. And a lot of Jays like to eat rabbit. Hares. I've never had any, but a lot of Jakes, especially while coming up, a lot of Jakes, go rabbit hunting and all that, squirrel hunting, coon hunting, possums, eating all that mess. And the hare, because he chewed the cud, but divided not the hoof, he is unclean to you. And the swine, the pig, what Jake's going to be eating tomorrow, that ham, and that bacon or that ham hock, and them collard greens, and them chitlins. That's what Jake like to eat on Thanksgiving, on that wicked holiday, Thanksgiving. Abomination. And the swine, though he divide the hoof and be cloven-footed, yet he chewed not the cud, he is unclean to you. Of their flesh shall ye not eat, and their carcasses shall ye not touch. They are unclean to you. You ain't even supposed to touch this damn animal. There's a lot of people eating that swine, high blood pressure, strokes, heart attacks, All kind of problems. Eating that doggone swine. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 14, verse 5. And let's see what we can eat. Let's see the animals, the cloven-footed, that you can eat. Let me see here. Slacky. The heart. Let's see what the heart is. Let's see. Deuteronomy 14 and 5.
Strong's H354. Ayal.
Strong's H354. Ayal. Let's see what the heart is. It's like the heart is a stag or deer. So Deuteronomy verse 14 and 5, the heart, which is a deer, and the roebuck, I looked that up, is a gazelle. And that's what they got, is gazelle. They say it could be some ancient, extinct animal. But they got the gazelle. And the fowler deer, and the wild goat, and the pygarg, which I looked that up, is an antelope, and the wild ox, and the chimos, which could be a mountain sheep or a mountain goat. And every beast that parted the hoof, and the cleft into 2 claws, and chewed the cud among the beasts, ye shall eat. That's some of the animals we can eat. Let's go back to Leviticus chapter 11, verse 9. These shall ye eat that are in the waters. Whatsoever had fins and scales in the water, in the seas and the rivers, them shall you eat. Anything that got fins and scales, combination, fins and scales. All that other fish and stuff, catfish, shark meat, and all that old mess, you can't eat. And all that have not fins and the scales in the sea and in rivers of all that moves in the waters, and any living thing which is in the waters, they shall be an abomination to you. And that word abomination means detestable thing, unclean. Anything else, if it don't have fins and scales on it, you can't eat it. Shrimp, crab, lobster, clams, mussels, octopus, squid. Can't eat none of that mess. If you put a fish out of the water and it ain't got fins and scales on it, it got slick skin, but it got fins, or it just got slick skin with no fins, you can't eat it. Throw it back. Can't eat it. Verse 11, they shall be even an abomination to you. You should not eat it of their flesh, but you should have their carcasses in abomination. Whatsoever hath no fins nor scales in the waters, that shall be an abomination to you. Like I just said, when they ain't got no fins and scales, that's an abomination. And these are they which shall have an abomination among the fowls. Let me back up. A lot of people, what you mean I can't eat shrimp, crab, lobster? I mean, ain't nothing wrong with it. Yeah, Esau said it wasn't nothing wrong with it. They put it in the commercials, make you want it. And that's what Jake do. We want to try to do everything Esau do. They put them doggone shrimp and crabs and lobster in them commercials, with that butter, pouring on that butter, and squeezing that lemon juice, and dip it down that butter. Boy, it look good. Boy, don't you want it? Don't you? You want something now, don't you? Can't eat it. Can't eat it. You can't do everything easy. The heathens can eat that crap, but we can't. That's the dietary law. We cannot eat it. That's why we all jacked up with diseases and illnesses. You go back, verse 12 again. Whatsoever had no fins, nor scales in the water, that shall be an abomination to you. And these are which ye shall have in abomination among the fowls. Okay, these are the fowls we can't eat, the birds. They shall not be eaten. They are an abomination, unclean. The eagle and the ostrich, which is perhaps, they say a bearded buzzard, when I looked it up. And the osprey, which is the black eagle or buzzard. Who wants to eat that? Scavengers. In other words, you can't eat scavengers. That's what he's saying. And the vulture, scavenger, and the kite, hawk, or falcon, scavengers, after his kind. Even the raven after his kind, scavengers. And the owl, and the nighthawk, and the cuckoo. That's like a gulls, seagulls. And the hawks after his kind. And the little owl, and the cormorant. The cormorant is like an aquatic bird of prey. When I looked that up. Aquatic bird of prey. Birds, fly out in the ocean and stuff, eating stuff out of, on the beaches, eating water, stuff out of the water. And the great owl, and the swan, and the pelican, and the gier eagle, and the stork, and the heron, after her kind, and the lapwing. The lapwing is a bird that lays eggs, like a ground nesting bird. What I'm trying to say, birds that lay their eggs on the ground, like penguins, and that's the name. I can't name no other, but birds that lay their nests on the ground. You can't eat them. And the bat, we all know about the bat. I know they gonna mention that. They say because of the bat, everybody got to take this thing. But who knows Esau? Esau could have made that up. Verse 20. All fowls that creep going upon all fours shall be an abomination to you. All birds that creep around, shall be an abomination to us. Can't eat them. Yet these may ye eat of every flying, creeping thing that goeth up upon all fours, which have legs above their feet, to leap withal upon the earth. Even these of them ye may eat. The locust, after his kind, and the bald locust, after his kind, and the beetle, after his kind, and the grasshopper. So we can eat locusts, beetles, and grasshoppers. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people gonna be eating them when Jacob's trouble comes, cause there ain't gonna be nothing to eat. Let me go here. Slock you. Let's see. Let's go to Deuteronomy 14 and let's go back. Let's go back to Leviticus 11 and 23. But all other flying, creeping things which have 4 feet shall be an abomination to you. Anything else that's flying that have 4 feet is an abomination to us. Can't eat it. For all these ye shall be unclean. Whosoever touches the carcass of them shall be unclean until the evening. You even touch the carcass of them, you are unclean. And whosoever beareth aught of the carcass of them shall wash his clothes and be unclean until the evening. You have to wash your clothes. You're going to be unclean until the evening. The carcass of every beast which divided the hoof, and is not cloven-footed, nor chew the cud, and are clean unto you. Every one that touches them shall be unclean. You heard that? Carcasses of every beast which divided the hoof, and we can't eat. You can't even touch them. Every one that touches them shall be unclean. And whatsoever go up upon his paws, cats, dogs, lions, tigers, bears, panthers, that's got paws. Everything, you probably can think of some that I hadn't thought of. You can't eat that stuff. Those are unclean unto you. Whosoever touches their carcass shall be unclean until the evening. You can't touch their carcass if they dead. And he that beareth the carcass of them shall wash his clothes, and unclean until the evening. They are unclean to you. So, you touch them, you got to wash your clothes, You're going to be unclean until the evening. These also shall be unclean unto you among the creeping things that creep upon the earth. The weasel, the mouse, the tortoise, after his kind. You know, Jake like to eat that cooter, snapping turtle meat. They like to eat that stuff. I've seen them catch them, cut the head off, and bust them open, take them home, clean them out, take them home, cook them. I never ate none before, but I've seen it. We used to be out, when we was kids, we used to be out playing in the creek, and we mess around and pull a cooter up and be playing with it. If you look at it, it look like a dinosaur. And they come down, you see my old men come down there, boy, get what you got there, boy, you got a cooter. They take it. Take it home, kill it, and eat it. You can't eat the mouse, possum. You can't eat none of that crap. Squirrel. None of it. Verse 30. And the ferret and the chameleon, which I looked that up, it said small reptiles, but I think it just mean all reptiles. And the lizard and the snail and the mole. So you can't eat lizards, you can't eat reptiles, you can't eat snail, you can't eat moles. These are unclean to you among all that creep. Whosoever does touch them, when they be dead, shall be unclean until the evening. It's going to be unclean. The sun go down. And upon whatsoever any of them, which they be dead, doth fall, it shall be unclean, whether it be any vessel of wood, or raiment, or skin, or sack, whatsoever vessel it be, wherein any work is done, it must be put into water, and it shall be clean until the evening. So it should be clean. If any of them things die and fall into your clothes, on your skin, on the wood that you're going to burn, or, anything, it's going to be unclean. You got to wash it, because it can be clean be unclean until the evening. So it shall be clean. And every earthen vessel whereinto any of them falleth, whatsoever in, it shall be unclean, and ye shall break it. Fall into any earthen vessel. Like anything, like you're going to cook in, you're going to drink out of it, it's going to be unclean. You should break it. Drinking out of that dead thing, laying up in it. Verse 34, of all meat which may be eaten, that on which such water cometh shall be unclean, and all drink that may be drunk in every such vessel shall be unclean. Any water, run off that touch your meat, or anything that, anything you drink out of shall be unclean. And everything wherein any part of their carcass falleth shall be unclean, whether it be an oven or ranges or pots, they shall be broken down. Anything that dead stuff fall in, them snails, them moles, and stuff like that, lizards and reptiles and stuff fall in, because they carry diseases and slime. You don't want that stuff, running and crawling around on anything. And everything whereupon any part of their carcass falleth, any part of their carcass, if you dead, fall in there, you go pull your pans and get ready to cook, get ready to fire up the oven, and dead snails and lizards and stuff in there. Yeah, you can break it down, throw it away, and build another one, or buy another one. Pots, whatever, ranges, ovens, you got to break that stuff up and get it out of the way and build up another one, or buy another one, or whatever. They are unclean and shall be unclean unto you. Nevertheless, a fountain or pit wherein there is plenty of water shall be clean, but that which touches their carcass shall be unclean. That's what I'm saying. Anything, you look down there, dead animals and snails and stuff, and that stuff is unclean. You ain't want to drink out of it. And any part of their carcass fall upon any sowing seed which is to be sown, it shall be clean. But if any water be put upon the seed, and any part of their carcass fall therein, it shall be unclean. And you put some water on that seed, you ran sowing them carcass and laying up on dead, seed's unclean. That garden is scrap. And if any beast of which ye may eat die, he that touches the carcass thereof shall be unclean until the evening. Self-explanatory. And he that eateth of the carcass of it shall wash his clothes. Let's read that again. And he that eateth of the carcass of it shall wash his clothes and be unclean until the evening. You happen to eat it, you shall wash your clothes and be unclean till the evening. He also that beareth the carcass of it shall wash his clothes and be unclean until the evening. Hear it, bear it, touch it, have to remove it or anything. You got to wash your clothes. And every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth shall be an abomination. It shall not be eaten. Can't eat creeping, crawly things on the earth. Can't eat that crap. Whatsoever goeth upon his belly, and whatsoever goeth upon all fours, or whatsoever had more feet among all creeping things that creep upon the earth, ye shall not eat, for they are abomination. So whatsoever go upon the belly, snakes, whatever, crawling around, slithering around, you ain't want to eat that. And whatsoever go up on all fours, whatever's up on all fours, or whatever had more feet among all creeping things, centipedes, stuff running around, on fours, you don't know what the hell it is. Don't eat it. Centipede, all kind of little bugs with many legs, can't eat it. For they are an abomination, unclean. Ye shall not make Leviticus 11:43, ye shall not make yourselves abominable with any creeping thing that creepeth, neither shall ye make yourself unclean with them, that ye shall be defiled thereby. For I am the Lord Yahweh, your power. Ye shall therefore sanctify yourself, and ye shall be holy, for I am holy. Neither shall ye defile yourself with any manner of creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. Now defile yourself with all that, unclean food. Let's go back to Deuteronomy chapter 14 in verse 21. It reads, ye shall not eat of anything that died on itself. You're not supposed to eat it that died on itself. Thou shalt give it unto the stranger that is in thy gates, and he may eat it, or thou mayest sell it unto the alien. You ain't supposed to eat nothing that died. You're supposed to give it away. They can eat it or they can sell it. For thou art a holy people unto the Lord Yahweh thy power. Thou shalt not seethe a kid in his mother's milk. You should not take away a little young animal that's, that's still suckling on his mother. You ain't supposed to do that. You're supposed to wait till the animal's, I think, a year before you can take that animal. With this, I'm going to give all praise to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushua, by Hashem, Rakak Radash, and double honors to the apostle, the elders, teachers, truth, and Shalom to the whole full Shalom.